Welcome into the latest edition of FC Live. Kay Murray, Emily Keogh, and Julien here to talk about what we've just seen with Spain against Switzerland in the Women's Euro. Spain with a 2-0 win. They will be marching on to their first semi-final in the Euro since 1997. Of course, they are world champions. It's been a bit of a different story in the Euros in their history, but they are through. However, Emily, they made hard work of it.
Yeah, I think it's probably the longest they've had to wait for a goal in a tournament for a very long time. So, that first half, it was a pretty cagey half. But this is a team that know how to win, and they were relentless, and they weren't going to stop. And as much as Switzerland have credit for that first half, they were never going to be able to keep up, keeping Spain out for 90 minutes. So it was a really good first half from Switzerland. But I think it's just a testament to Spain and what they're like, that they can break them down and keep doing what they need to do to get the win. They're champions for a reason, and I think they showed that tonight.
Yeah, obviously, though, Jules, Switzerland must have been pretty confident after that first half. There's the missed penalty, and there's the fact that outside of that, they'd managed to keep them out.
Yeah, they did. To be fair, and apart from the post from Paredes on that corner in that first half, they don't, and the penalty obviously, but they don't have really any other big chances. It was a very low block that defended well. They fought hard. They were aggressive, Switzerland. But you also know, like Emily just said, that you can't do that for 90 minutes. Not at that level, not against a team like Spain. And at some point, you get tired. You start making mistakes. We saw Leah Walti, who's been great for Switzerland in this tournament, who's great for Arsenal through the season. But yet, one mistake and Claudia Pina just punishes you. And you see the backheel assist from Aitana Bonmati on the first goal from Atenea, who is the sub of the tournament. But the pass from that backheel from Aitana is the assist of the tournament, maybe the assist of the season, men and women combined in everything we've seen. It's just a moment of genius. And you can keep collectively this Spain team quiet. You can try to cut all spaces, all angle of passes, everything. But at some point, they're just so good individually that they're going to find a way. And that's exactly what Aitana did. And after that first goal, the game was over.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about that first goal then, if we can, Emily. And obviously, you knew with Aitana and everything that she did that Del Castillo getting that ball to her feet, we knew how it was going to come out.
Yeah, I mean, that's her role, isn't it, Athletic? That's her role, come on and score goals. And it was just such a lovely assist from Aitana, that kind of flick around, and the awareness to know where her players were to get that pass perfect. It's brilliant. And that's why she's a two-time Ballon d'Or winner. She knows exactly where the players are. She knows exactly what she needs to do to set up that goal. And it was a brilliant first goal. And I think you just saw Switzerland. It was just suddenly this very slumped, they've done so well to keep them out, and it was just that slumped, kind of presentation from the players that you kind of knew that the floodgates could have opened, and yeah, so it was a really, really good first goal, and I think they probably were more relieved than anything that it came, because like I said before, I don't think they've had to wait that long for a goal in the tournament before, so probably a lot of relief. But yeah, like Jill said, it's a team of champions, and all of these players are exceptional in their own right, and they know their role really well. So I think that's also a testament to this team, is that each player knows exactly what they need to do on that pitch, and Anna is probably not massively happy being a finisher rather than a starter in this team, but she knew that at that time she needed to come on, and she was on for less than 5 minutes before she scored. So it's some great management as well from that team, that everyone knows their roles and they know exactly what they need to do when the time comes.
Yeah, Pina obviously with the second goal, the Swiss felt there was a foul in the build-up there, Jules, but once that goal had gone in, you just knew it was game over for Switzerland.
Yeah, I don't think there's any foul on Walti. She doesn't scan before receiving the ball. She doesn't know the players are there. And again, she's very good. She's been very good through this tournament. She's a reliable player, experienced player. But on that moment, it's on her, really. And then the finish is great. And Pina, she likes that curler. We've seen her doing it before. But if you're Walti and if you're Switzerland, a goal like this hurts, because it's a goal you should not concede. The first one is, as we said, it's a moment of genius. That pass from Aitana, it could have undone any defense. Fair enough. The second goal is just because you lose the ball there, and you should never lose the ball there, not against a team like that, not against any team at this level. So this one is very much on Walti and on Switzerland. And it's a shame, because at 1-0, even if you're not as good as the opposition, you still believe it's possible. At 2-0, 2 goals in 5 minutes, the game is definitely over that time.
Let me stick with you, Jules, on how the Swiss can be proud, though, of the performance as a host nation, what they've delivered in this tournament, and what it will mean going forward. They've definitely changed the face of women's football in Switzerland with this tournament.
Yeah, it's great for them. I mean, for the player themselves, big learning curve, of course. It was a bit chaotic when Pias and Hager arrived, and there was a lot of criticism even a few weeks before the start of the tournament. And to be fair, I think they won people over. They won critics over, certainly. It was maybe not always the best style of football, if you want, but the first half against Norway was brilliant, for example. then they showed resilience and heart at time, which is enough. And tonight it was always going to be a hard task anyway. But for the development of the women's game in Switzerland, the work that Johan Joe is doing, for example, as the coordinator of the women's football in Switzerland, is brilliant. And I hope they kick on from this really and keep growing, because it's a young team. We mentioned yesterday some of the young talent are going to be very, very good. We saw Pilgrim coming on. We saw Schettenberg. Of course, she's the one at 18 already playing for Barcelona that has a great future ahead of us. So there's great time ahead of them. They just need that support and keep that momentum at least for 2 years until the World Cup.
Yeah, it was funny as well, Emily, to see the Italian squad up in the stands watching. Obviously, they've got England next. But do you think if there is, for them, there could be a chance that they would be facing Spain if they're to get past England, and if Spain are to progress in their semi-final? Do you think teams have looked today and thought, maybe there is a way to stop Spain? Maybe there are some methods that we could do to do that?
I think in tournament football, every team is beatable. If it's not your day, it's not your day. And as much as these teams are great, like we saw that with England and France, like it was a terrible performance from them, but it showed you that teams are beatable. And while we know the caliber and how good Spain are, they've been beaten before and they can be beaten again. And I think it's having that mentality that you can beat them. It doesn't matter if they're world champions, if they're reigning champions, if they're former champions. If you believe you can beat them and you have a good day and it's your day and it's not another team's day, then anything can happen in football. So I think it's almost having that belief. And we've seen with Italy a little bit, like they're here for the vibes. Like them having such a good footballing tournament has come somewhat sort of secondary to them just having a really good time. And I think that is also probably why they've done so well this tournament. So I think they have that belief that if they can get through England and let's say Spain get through, like I think you've got to have that belief you can win. Otherwise, you're not going to get that far. So yeah, it's great for them. And I think they'll be watching these games very closely and knowing kind of, there's one more and then a final. So yeah, it is exciting. But I think that's the beauty of this tournament, is that every team has at some point looked beatable. And we said that about Germany. We said that about France. We said that about England. And it's everyone's game. So it's exciting that in this tournament, it's not closed doors just yet.